Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Reborn. So it's been a while. On the last part we actually defeated Seal and we unlocked the ability to fly back to Reborn City, and upon flying back we discovered that it was completely renovated. So we could continue on with the story, and if you do want to continue onward with the story, you can go inside the Grand Hall here and you can come talk to Ame over here, and she will tell you to look for Victoria, DJ Arclight, and Adrian. However, there is a lot of side content that's been unlocked for us right now, and I really want to take advantage of it. Part of the reason that the episodes are taking a little bit longer right now is because I work off of a few different walkthroughs. I work off of a official walkthrough, which is up to date as of episode 17. I work off of a spreadsheet for all Pokemon locations, which is up to date as of episode 18. But they're a little bit glitchy here and there. Mainly, they don't tell you the proper time that you can actually access events, so usually on my spare save file, I'm going around, I'm double checking to make sure that I can access events as soon as possible and I'm not leaving them out. Also, something to note is that in the newly renovated Reborn City, all the items from before are gone, so if you didn't pick up certain hidden items, they're gone now. However, there are new ones, such as this Dawnstone right here. And that couple just appeared out of thin air. That's kind of awkward. But anyways, we're going to explore the city now. There's a few things that we can actually do here. For starters, we actually want to move all the way to the critical capture store right here. And if you picked up the corrupted Pokeball that was in the abandoned rail net, you would have found it in one of the rock smash spots. You can take it to this man right here, and if you talk to him a lot, you want to make sure that you say yes to him, and after saying yes to him twice, he will give you a Ralts that was inside of it. Something else to kind of note inside of here is that the critical capture shop actually has a much wider variety of Pokeballs in stock. And a lot of the Pokeballs are actually pretty cheap now too. I think before some of them were actually really expensive, although unfortunately the friend balls are still pretty expensive, honestly. So that is it for the critical capture shop, and we're going to move on up over here. So in here you can still buy link stones, that's not really a big deal, but over here we actually have a bit of a shop here. It is the herb store, and it is run by a Meganium, which is kind of freaky, but it's whatever. You have the power herb and the white herb, and you also have all the herbs over here that will reduce your Pokemon's happiness. And those revival herbs are absolutely amazing, especially if you don't care about your Pokemon's happiness, which means you're either not trying to train something that's going to evolve from happiness, or you don't have something that is using return. Over here we actually have the department store. It is still the same. You can access all but one floor at the moment, and in the description below I'll have a bit of an imager graphic that'll basically tell you what you can find on each floor. Now that that's all said and done, I believe we want to move on to the Onyx Ward. And again, like the rest of the city, it's been prettied up quite a bit. I'm going to ignore that item over there, but we want to head over to the entrance to Florina's gym, and we'll find this girl standing guard. And she's going to give you a sweetheart. So we want to go ahead and take the sweetheart all the way over here, upstairs, and onto the 3rd floor. You'll find this girl over here, and after her using a very poor choice of words, she'll tell you that you should go tell the other girl that she doesn't quite feel the same way. So we want to go and talk to this girl again, and after talking to her 3 times, she will give you the Z Crystal for Incineroar, which is actually pretty handy because we're gonna get the Z Power Ring soon. Anyways, you want to hang on to that sweetheart that you received earlier. It's going to be very, very important for a side quest that we'll be taking on a little bit later in this part. But for now, I want to head all the way back to the Grand Hall. Alright, so we're here at the Grand Hall currently. I already went inside and I accessed the PC, and I managed to withdraw the Igglybuff that we received at the start of the game. It should have the original trainer set to Miss Linda. Nothing else will do. It has to be her Igglybuff. I told you to put it in the PC, put it somewhere that you would never lose it. Do not use it, do not evolve it, do not do anything with this thing. So now we're going to take that out and we're going to head through the newly renovated Peridot ward. And believe me, there is a lot to cover here, such as that old man and that garden right over there. But for now, we want to head all the way up over here. And I believe this is it. Be Miss Linda's house right here. So if we go inside here, she will remember the promise that we made her and she will ask for her Igglybuff back. And she will give us the Pixie plate and the luck incense. Sorry about that. I think I just hit my headset on accident. But anyways, the luck incense has the same effect as the amulet coin, which means if you let a Pokemon hold on to that item, it will double your prize money. This is really important because for the most part, there are some trainers in the Grand Hall that you can battle right now. They've all been updated, and you can battle some of them and you can get upwards of like 15,000 Pokédollars per battle. They could be a little bit difficult to battle, however, again, that is a thing. So now we're going to make our way, actually let's talk about the tutor first. So over here is a section with a lot of stands over here. And I'm going to change the time, it has to be during the day, so I guess this should be good enough. And I probably have to go inside and reset this all. Of course it's raining. Well, it looks like regardless of whether it's raining or not, these guys are still going to be here at their stands and they're going to be selling their goods. Or at least this guy will be. Basically, this person over here will be selling reset disc for EVs, which is actually pretty useful. You can actually EV train certain Pokemon on certain trainers in the Grand Hall because they'll only give like 1 or 2 EVs and you can just train them completely on that trainer in the Grand Hall and then reset the other unwanted EV. So again, that's pretty useful. And over here we should have a couple of move tutors. And they have a pretty wide selection, but that's all we really want to show off over here. Ready? So I got rid of the rain because that was kind of annoying me a little bit. But over here, we should actually find Seacrest over here, and he is actually looking for some gardening supplies. And ignore this right here, I accidentally picked that up earlier, but I will be very pleased to show that off later. So there are 4 mulches that he's looking for, and he will give you a reward if you can find all of them. Anyways, these mulches are actually scattered across all of the wards. One of them should be right here in the lower Peridot ward. One of them is all the way up in the Barrel ward, one of them is up in the Lapis ward, and the other one is in the South Obsidian ward. In fact, the one for the lower Peridot ward should be right here. This is the damp mulch right here. And I guess I'll go ahead and show off the other locations while we're at it. All the way over here in the Obsidian ward, if we move down here, there should be the second mulch. I believe this is the growth mulch. It would be on this bush right here. It's what I grabbed earlier. I kind of grabbed it without thinking. Here in the renovated Lapis ward should be another mulch, and it should be all the way over here. And it's actually on this table right here. That is the stable mulch. And as much as I would like to stay here and discuss the renovated Lapis ward, unfortunately we have to go to the Barrel ward and find the last mulch. The last mulch is over here in the Barrel ward, starting from the Pokemon Center right there. It should be all the way over here in this sort of garden area, and it should be on this chair right there. And that is the gooey mulch, and now we can take all of these back to Mr. Seacrest in the lower Peridot ward. Back at Mr. Seacrest, we can talk to him again to turn in all of the mulches, and he will eventually give us the Vensaurite. And for the most part, I think we're kind of done with the Peridot ward. I don't think there's anything we really need to bother with down here anymore. So from here, how about we go ahead and explore the Lapis ward just a little bit. So we are now in the Lapis ward here to do a bit of exploration. Firstly, if you step into this alleyway over here, this used to be the Aqua Gang's hideout. And unfortunately the water is blocked off. I don't think there's any way that you can ever get to it, but you can also find a lot of berries. Even though you can kind of buy most of these, it's pretty neat. Free stuff is free stuff, honestly. And over here, we can come all the way up here to the floral shop, and there should be some new goods in here. I believe it should be this person right here. And she will now sell you all the seeds. So the elemental seeds, the magical seeds, the telluric seeds, and the synthetic seeds. You no longer have to rely on finding them as hidden items to actually use them in your battle strategies. So you now have an unlimited supply of them. And we still have more to do. So anyways, we haven't checked out 7th Street, and this is the wrong entrance. I'm on the wrong save file for that entrance. This might get a little bit confusing for me in a bit because I'm going to be going back and forth between save files. But anyways, we want to go ahead and head down to 7th Street. And you can actually hear the old Lapis Ward music down here, which is pretty neat. So something about down here is that we should be able to find the old leader of our gang. So I actually made a mistake. On this save file, I hadn't completed my gang side quest all the way to the maximum. In order to find your gang leader down here, you need to have completed all the gang side quests, you need to have taken out Mrs. Crodberry, and you also need to have taken out the opposing gang leader, defeated them in battle, and gain the TM from them, which would be the opposite of the TM that your gang leader gives you for defeating Mrs. Crodberry. So if you defeated the Aqua gang member, then you would receive Rain Dance, and if you defeated the Magma gang leader, you would receive Sunny Day. And once all that is done, you'll actually find your gang leader down here, and he is looking for you. So this is actually a pretty massive side quest, but basically the gist of this side quest is your gang leader wants you to find job applications for each of the gang members. And these applications are actually scattered throughout Reborn. So we're going to go ahead and find each of them a job. Or try to. We can't actually do this fully to its maximum potential yet. We're going to go ahead and get a start on the Magma Gang. So for starters, you want to go ahead and talk to every single one of them. So all the members are going to be in the exact same spots, which means you will have 3 members in this area of 7th Street, and you will have 1 member that should be in the elevator that you'll have to talk to. Starting off on our hunt for the Magma Gang applications, and we're going to start from the Grand Staircase. We're going to want to move all the way over here and move towards the Spice building. And over in this corner, you can actually find a set of applications, and we want to take one of them. And the next application that we need for the Magma Gang is actually pretty close by. You can find this girl over here, and she will hand you a nightclub application. And the next application that we want to grab should be over here in this building right here. And it is a medicine application. And the final application we actually need to grab is outside of Reborn City, and it should be all the way over here in the circus. Over here on this counter right here, you should find a circus application, and that is the last application that we can grab at the moment. There's actually one more application that we need to grab for the Magma Gang, and we kinda can't grab it at the moment. So the reason that we cannot grab this application at the moment, and this is again another point in time where you kind of realize that the Aqua Gang has one up the Magma Gang again, is that not only is it not available at the moment, but it is an application called the Soulless application. In order to receive this application, we actually have to buy the Obsidia Affordable Housing for 60,000. This is a renovation that we have to unlock. And once we do so, we will unlock the Soulless building. It's actually time to hand out these applications, and there is a method that you actually have to hand them out. So basically, you have to go into your bag and you have to go to the actual application items, which are in the first slot of your bag. and you have to use them on the people. So for Chris of the Magma Gang, who is in the elevator, he's going to want the Sprice application. I'm going to use this on him, and he should be pretty happy. So now we can move down to 7th Street and hand out applications down here. Starting with Break here of the Magma Gang down in 7th Street, we want to give him the Medicine application, I believe. And he should be pretty happy with that. Next up over here should be Nil, and we want to give him the Nightclub application. And finally over here with Darm, we should want to give him the Circus application. And that's all we can do for the Magma Gang right now, unfortunately. We'll have to wait for the story to progress before we can finally get along to giving Maxwell his application, but we'll get to that. And now I'm going to show off the Aqua Gang applications. Alright, so we're back and I'm now on my Aqua Gang file. What's interesting about this file is that, or the Aqua Gang in general, is that the Aqua leader will actually stand over here in this corner of 7th Street compared to the opposite corner of where the Magma Gang leader will usually stand. So just like the Magma Gang, there is only 4 applications that we can only collect for the Aqua Gang members. And we're going to go ahead and go grab them really quickly. Alright, so once again on our hunt for the applications, we're going to be starting from the Grand Staircase, and we're going to this time be moving towards the Sweet Corporation. Once inside here, you want to talk to this lady over here, and she will hand you a Sweet application. That's the first application that we need. The second one is actually going to be over in this room right here. And you can get the Silphco application right here. Next up, we actually need to fly all the way over to Apollo Academy. And that's right over here. So inside over here, I believe we need to talk to her, this girl right here, and she should give you the Apollo application. And she actually gives you like 3 of them. You really can't reject her on those either, which is kind of annoying, but that's fine. And the final application that we need to collect should be over in the Barrel Ward, and it's at the library. And we'll get to the 5th application that we can't quite collect yet in a little bit. But over here is the library, and I believe you just need to take 1 application from right here. So again, like the Magma Gang, there is 1 application that we cannot collect right now. And the application that you can't collect for the Aqua Gang is actually the construction application. So the reason that we can't quite collect this is because you need to collect this from the construction station in Grandview Station, which is the train station that we actually came to Reborn City on. So it's all the way over here, and we can't quite get past these guards yet. So again, we're gonna have to kind of wait on that. But in the meantime, we can actually head back to Lapis Ward and start handing out these applications. Starting with the guy in the elevator, his name is Manny, and he is the one that wants the construction application. We can't get that, so we can't give it to him. So we're going to go ahead and head down to 7th Street, and let's see. I believe we want to start with Facto over here. So once again, you want to go into your bag, into the first little pocket in your bag, and at the bottom is where your application should be. Facto over here is going to want the library application, so we're going to want to use this on him, and he will be pretty happy, pretty content. Something else I haven't mentioned is the character for either gang that sits down here is the one that sells the blast powder. Don't worry, just because you gave them the application, they will still sell you the blast powder. It's just you have to go all the way to where they are at in their new job. So for Aqua Gang, that would be the library. And I believe that for the Magma Gang, you actually need to go to the medicine store. But anyways, all that aside, over here, Razzie, and he is going to want the sweet application, and he'll be pretty content with that. And finally, I believe this is Pierce over here, and he should want the Apollo application. And he'll be pretty content with that. So unfortunately, the final application that we received today was the Sylph application, and that is what you actually need to give to Archer. And I don't think I can actually give that to him right now. Yeah, no, we can't do that. We have to give an application to all 4 of the members first. Which is kind of unfortunate, but at least we've gotten this out of the way. So anyways, how about we continue to explore 7th Street? There should be one more move tutor down here now, which is the move tutor that is right down here. It's basically the guy that was selling Pokemon originally, and he now has some pretty good moves actually. Like, normally the move tutors that were originally down here in 7th Street were kind of iffy. I mean, you could find some use for some of the moves, but this guy over here has Knockoff, Iron Head, Signal Beam, Giga Drain, and Aqua Tail. And even the move tutors that were up in the Peridot ward are pretty good. Like, they had Stealth Rock, Tailwind, Hyper Voice, that kind of stuff. Like, these move tutors were finally getting to the good moves. Something else we can do down here in 7th Street is we can actually come into the water hole. And if we come down here, we'll actually find ourselves in the water treatment center. We're not going to do anything down here today. However, we can pick up the TM for Skydrop, which is right down there. I think we've shown enough of 7th Street off for the moment, so we're going to head back up to the Barrel Ward for a quick side quest over there. Over here in the Barrel Ward, we actually want to head towards the cemetery, and you can find some new items out over here. This is where I believe you would actually find Victoria. But we're actually not here for Victoria, that's story stuff, and we actually want to talk to Simon, who is over here mourning at this gravestone. So you can tell him whatever you would like, and he is going to be off on his way, and next we're going to stop off in the Peridot ward, the upper Peridot ward. Over here in the upper Peridot ward, we can actually move on to this house, and over here we'll actually find Simon. And he will be asking about her full name. And that in itself is another quest that we have to take on. So from here, we actually want to head all the way over to Tanzan Cove. And now that we're at Tanzan Cove, we actually want to surf on the water, and we want to dive down under it. And over here we can actually find some neat items down here. But we mainly want to be looking for the bodies. And I believe there should be one over here. I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, there is a body over here, and you want to search it, and you will find that the ID tag is actually missing. Again, we want to make sort of over here, there should be another body over here. And you'll find one that has an ID tag and a spooky plate. And then over here you'll find another body that has an ID tag. And that's all the ID tags that we can find over here. Next up, we want to surface, and we want to hop off on this side of the lake. And you'll find a fisherman over here. And there will be a bit of humorous text, and he will basically give you the super rod, which is very nice. And your job here is to basically fish up 3 Whiscash and catch them. So you want to have a spare space in your party because you're going to be giving these Whiscash to the fisherman, and he's not really going to be gutting them, but he's going to be searching their inside somehow and then releasing them. So he says. Again, having like an auto hook mod would be really appreciated here, and I will catch you guys when I fish up those Whiscash. Alright, so I just caught my 3rd Whiscash. Again, you need to catch 3 of them. I actually recommend that you bring along a Pokemon that knows Thief, because you're going to encounter some Love Disc along the way. I encountered a fair bit of them, and it's pretty nice to steal heart scales from them. Well, you actually can. But anyways, when you have a Whiscash in your party, he's going to talk to you and ask you to show it to him, and he will take it off your hands and give you the ID tag or tell you to fish more. So anyways, that's not all we have to do here in Tanzan Cove. Actually, there is a bit of an entrance over here. There is an entrance over here to a different portion of Tanzan Mountain. We can't really do anything here yet, but there is a free pearl here, just in case you're wondering, and there is a mining rock down there. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and return to the Peridot Ward. Back here at the Peridot Ward, we're going to enter the house again and talk to Simon. He will take the ID off your hands and he will give you the TM for Toxic in return. Something I forgot to mention is that the only way that you can find Simon at the Barrel Cemetery is if you talk to him in the Tanzan Mountain Meteor Base. If you do not, it's going to be a long time before you can talk to him again and get that done and over with. And since we're here in Peridot Ward, Upper Peridot Ward no less, I think it's time that we took care of another event, which should be on the upper floors in here. Actually, I'm getting myself all turned around. It should be the staircase that is all the way over here that we need to go up, and here on this floor you should have a man right here, and when you talk to him he will ask you if you want to make a bet. And this is pretty much all luck, but basically what you want to do is you want to save after every bet that you win, and if you lose the bet you want to reset. Here is to basically clean this guy out. After about 7 or so times that you call it right, he will tell you that he doesn't have enough money, but he does have a really cool TM. And he will give you the TM for Protect. The TM for Protect is actually pretty nice. If you have a Blaziken, then you've probably been waiting for this for quite a while, so you can stall out that first turn and get that speed boost going. Or, also, we just recently got the TM for Toxic, so those two are really, really good in combination. You can finally Toxic stall things to a degree somewhat. I don't think we're done exploring in the Peridot Ward quite yet. There is one more thing that I actually want to grab here, and it's more towards these train tracks right here. We want to walk along them and continue down this way. And once you reach this point, you actually want to surf on the water. Along the water, we can actually exit out this way. And if we continue to surf down this path right here, we will eventually find a TM for low sweep at the end of it. Anyways, I feel like we've done quite a bit in the Peridot Ward, but I think we should move on to the Coral Ward. There's several things down there that we can actually work on and take care of. Over here in the Coral Ward, there's actually a couple things we can do. First off, we can come over here into this building where the blind girl is, and she will have a new set of questions for us to answer. So her first question is going to be, how many train cars are there in the wasteland? And the answer should be 15. The next will be, how many buildings are there in Ametrine City? And the answer should be 30. Which sounds like a bit much, but it's true. And the next is, how many Pikachus are there in New's house? The answer should be 23. And after that, it's, how many satellites are there in Spineltown? That's actually 0. After that, it's, how many bookcases are there in Apollo Academy? That should be 42. And finally, how many trees are there in the Chrysolia Forest? And she doesn't actually know for that, so you can put literally anything in here, and she will accept it. After this, she will actually give us the field readout for the Fairy Tale Fields. Anyways, regardless of that, we're not quite done here in the Coral Ward. So there is an event inside of here that we're going to take care of a little bit later. But for starters, now that we have dive, there's actually a secret dive spot that is hidden behind this lighthouse right here. We can go down here and we can grab a few unique items, such as that elixir in the moon ball right there, but we can also resurface up here and climb up this ladder and collect the coral key and the Electirizer. Now we can actually exit this lighthouse right here and resurface over there, and now we can actually open up this lighthouse inside of here. And we can now dive down here and we will have yet another event. This event has you up against a Huntail and a Gorbis. Something to keep in mind is that this is a battle underwater, and this is a bit of a boss battle. They're actually around level 78 each. But because this is underwater, your Pokemon are going to be slower unless they are water type, or they have Swift Swim. So if you have a Blaziken or a Infernape and you're hoping to just Thunder Punch them to death, that's not going to work because they are going to be much, much faster than you. So anyways, I will talk to you as soon as I deal with them. Alright, so now that that battle is taken care of, they will go off on their own and the Popplio will come over to us and join us. And I'm just going to go ahead and send that back to my PC. Over there is a free King's Rock. You can get those at your department store now. And there is also a TM for Giga Impact. Like I was saying about the King's Rock, you can get that at the department store now, but nothing beats free items. Anyways, there is just a couple more side quests that we actually need to handle inside the city before we actually have to leave it, but I'm going to leave that up to the next part. So for now, we're going to handle the other two side quests within the city walls. The side quest is actually here at the Spice Restaurant. So when we enter here, we actually want to talk to this chef over here, and he will basically tell you that he will cook for you if you are willing to get him some items. So those items are honey, tiny mushroom, balm mushroom, slowpoke tail, white herb, a stick, a sweetheart, and moo milk, energy root, custap berry, whipped dream, and shoal salt. So we started off with the sweetheart earlier. We did the quest that kind of revolved around that, and I really specifically said to keep that item, and it is most definitely for this side quest. So we're going to go ahead and procure the other items. So the honey is actually something that we can go ahead and buy straight up from the Lapis Ward flower shop. The white herb is actually something we can buy over here at the Medicine Mart from this Meganium here. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that. The moo milk is something you can actually get by buying an Oranberry and then bringing it to a milk tank on Route 1. I believe we can also buy the energy root over here as well. I forgot about that. The custap berries could have been harvested from the South Adventurin Woods, or you could just buy them on the 10th floor of the department store. The whipped dream should be over here at the sweet store. I think it might be this person that I buy it from. The shoal salt is a hidden item that you'll find all around Apollo Beach and Citrine Mountain. The tiny mushrooms are items that you could have found all over Azurine Island. And I'm trying to think about what else. I believe the slowpoke tail is actually purchased from someone in Coral Ward. So here we are back in the Coral Ward again. So once you start that quest, there should be a fisherman up on this pier right here, and he will actually be the one that gives you the slowpoke tail. He will say that he's selling it for 500,000 Poké Dollars, but you can go ahead and say yes to him anyways, and he will still give it to you. He'll basically say to put it on the spices tab. So that is the slowpoke tail, and the only other item that we have to go ahead and grab is the balm mushroom, and that is in the Malchus Forest next to the Jasper Ward. Alright, so we're over here in the Jasper Ward, and we want to head over here towards the Malchus Forest. It's kind of weird because the Malchus Forest now has this casual music playing instead of the original music, which was kind of menacing. But anyways, we went ahead all the way over here, and over at the spot where you would have jumped down the ledge to get to the pulse earlier, you will find a balm mushroom as an item. You can actually sell these mushrooms for a lot of money. However, you don't want to do that, you need it for this side quest. So now we're going to head over back towards the spice building. Anyways, back here at the spice restaurant, you want to hand in your materials or your ingredients to this guy over here. And again, he will tell you to speak with the head chef for your reward. It's kind of annoying because the head chef kind of moves around a lot, so it's just easier to exit and re-enter the building in order to speak with him, because he will be right here when you first enter the building. So as soon as you complete this quest, he will actually give you not 1 but 2 leftovers, which is really nice. This quest really isn't that hard to complete if you've been collecting a lot of these hidden items, such as the shoal salt and the tiny mushrooms. And that leaves only 1 side quest left for Reborn City currently. Before we begin that quest, there is something we can pick up here in the barrel ward in the library. So if we come into the library and come all the way back into this room back here, you'll notice that there are these really odd colored books that are sticking out. And if we press them in a certain order, which is green, red, purple, yellow, blue, and then white, we will open a secret room and we can find the TM for Solar Beam. We can find a bit of lore, and we can also find the field readout for the New World field. And again, you can read this if you would really like to. It doesn't really have much of an effect. And after this, we should be heading back to the Jasper Ward for the final sort of mini quest that we can take at the moment. I'm actually here in the Jasper Ward, and I realized that the next side quest that we were going to take on requires us to go through a large series of side quests that is actually outside of Reborn City. So we're going to take on that next part and just kind of leave this part as it is now. So we dealt with a lot already, and we still have more to come. Most of it is outside of Reborn City at this point. But I hope this helps. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully I can get the timestamps up pretty soon. I wasn't really pleased with how I ordered some of this, but at the same time, I wanted this to be organized from a timestamps perspective rather than just a story perspective. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.